When she told me, no secrets between us, I believed her. I wanted to. Huah made Bangkok feel like home again, warm, alive, forgiving. She knew how to listen. How to make an old man like me feel young again. But the night I saw that photo, her holding a baby, standing beside another man, calling him her husband, everything stopped. She wasn't living 2 lives. She was living 3. And somehow I was the only one who didn't know. The night markets of Bangkok hit you like a wall of sound and color. That's what I remember most about my first week there. The smells of grilled meat and sweet mango, the constant hum of motorbikes weaving through crowds, the neon signs reflecting off wet pavement after a sudden rain. I'd arrived in September, 3 months after burying Lynn back in Portland. 35 years of marriage, gone in a hospital room that smelled like bleach and regret. Our kids told me to stay home, to grieve properly, to join a support group at the community center. Dad, you can't just run away. My daughter Sarah said over the phone. I'm not running, I told her. I just need air. But I was running. From the empty house. From the silence. From the ghost of a woman I'd loved since I was 28, so I bought a one-way ticket to Thailand, told myself it was temporary, just a few months to clear my head. I didn't know what I was looking for. Maybe I wasn't looking for anything at all. I rented a small studio in Sukhumvit, nothing fancy, just a bed and a kitchenette and a window that faced a soi full of street food vendors. The landlady, an older Thai woman named Nok, showed me around with minimal English. You alone? She asked, eyeing me. Yes, I said. She nodded slowly. Be careful, Bangkok not always friendly to a lone farang. I thanked her and moved in that afternoon. The first few weeks blurred together. I walked aimlessly during the day, ate pad thai alone at night, and slept with the ceiling fan rattling above me. I called Sarah once a week, told her I was fine, that the weather was nice. She didn't believe me, but she stopped pushing. Then one afternoon, my back started acting up, that old insurance adjuster pain from sitting at a desk for 40 years. A guy at a coffee shop told me about a spa nearby, said they did good massages, not the touristy kind. Real Thai massage, he said. Not happy ending bullshit. I nodded and took the address. I went the next day. That's where I met her. She was standing behind the reception desk when I walked in, wearing a simple white blouse and a name tag that said Fa. Her smile was the first genuine thing I'd seen since landing in Bangkok. You need massage? She asked, her English clear but careful. I nodded, fumbling with my wallet. She laughed, not unkindly. You very stiff. I can see from here. I chuckled. That obvious? She tilted her head, still smiling. You carry weight. Here. She touched her own shoulders. And here. She touched her lower back. Am I that easy to read? I asked. I work here 3 years. I see many people. You sad, tired, but also, maybe, ready for change. Something about the way she said it caught me off guard. Yeah, I said quietly. Maybe. She wrote something in a logbook, then looked up at me with soft brown eyes. Don't worry. We take care of you. And she did. The massage helped, but honestly I came back the next week because I wanted to see her again. She was at the desk, same smile, same warm greeting. You come back, she said. Back still hurt? A little, I lied. She nodded. Okay. I give you same therapist. She very good. I almost asked if she did massages too, but I didn't want to seem forward. Instead, I booked another session and left. But the next time, I made small talk before leaving. You from Bangkok? I asked. She shook her head. Nonthaburi. You know? No, I'm still learning the city. Not far, maybe 20 minutes. She paused, then asked, You American? Yeah, Portland, Oregon. Oregon, she repeated slowly. Rain City. You know it? Little bit. I see movie. Always rain. I laughed. That's accurate. She smiled. Why you come Thailand? Holiday? Something like that, I said. She looked at me carefully. You run from something? The question surprised me. What makes you say that? She shrugged. You have sad eyes, like you lose something important. I swallowed. My wife. She died earlier this year. Her expression softened. I'm sorry. That very hard. Yeah. She reached across the desk and touched my hand briefly. Thailand, good place for healing. You stay, you feel better. I promise. I nodded, not trusting my voice. When I left that day, something had shifted. She wasn't just a receptionist anymore. She was someone who saw me. Really saw me. By the third week, I wasn't going for the massages anymore. I was going for her. We started talking more each visit. She asked about Oregon, about the rain, about why I came to Thailand alone. I told her about Lynn, about the emptiness, about needing to feel something other than grief. She listened without interrupting, without offering empty platitudes. My father died when I young, she said once. I understand that feeling. Like piece of you gone. Exactly, I said. When I tried to speak Thai, butchering simple phrases like sawadi crap and kop kun crap, she'd laugh and correct me gently. You sound like baby, she teased. But cute baby. Something about that made me feel lighter than I had in months. One day, she wasn't at the desk. A younger girl was there instead. Where's Fa? I asked. She day off today, the girl said. I felt a strange disappointment. I booked another massage anyway, but it wasn't the same. When I came back the following week, Fa was there. You miss me? She asked playfully. Maybe, I admitted. She laughed. You sweet. As I was leaving that evening, she stopped me at the door. You eat dinner yet? I shook my head. Not yet. She glanced at the clock, then back at me. You want eat together? I know good place. Not expensive. Real Thai food. My heart did something strange, something I hadn't felt since I was 25. I'd like that. I said, okay. I finished 7 o'clock. Meet me here. I waited outside for 30 minutes, watching the street vendors pack up, the sky turning purple. When she emerged, she'd changed into jeans and a light sweater. She looked younger out of her work clothes. Ready? She asked. Ready. We walked to a small restaurant along the Chao Phraya River, the kind of place locals went, with plastic chairs and no English menu. She ordered for both of us, laughing when I struggled with chopsticks. You need fork? She asked. I'm trying to adapt, I said. Good, but you fail. She handed me a fork. The city lights reflected off the dark water, and the air smelled like jasmine and diesel fuel. We ate and talked for hours. She told me she was 30, that she'd worked at the spa for 2 years and sometimes did translation work for foreign clients. My English not perfect, she said, stirring her soup. But I practice. I want be better. It's better than my Thai, I said, and I've been here almost 2 months. She smiled. You sweet man. You remind me my father a little bit. He also kind, also gentle. I wasn't sure how to take that, but the way she said it felt affectionate, not dismissive. Your father, is he still around? I asked. She shook her head. He died when I 15. Heart attack. Very sudden. I'm sorry. It long time ago. But I miss him. He only man who never hurt me. The bitterness in her voice surprised me. Someone hurt you? She looked down at her bowl. My ex-boyfriend. Thai man. We together 4 years. Then he leave for younger girl. Say I too old, too boring. That's awful. She shrugged. Men always want new, you know? They get bored. I shook my head. Not all men. She looked at me carefully. You different? I don't know, I admitted. But I'm too old to play games. I don't want to hurt anyone. She reached across the table and touched my hand. Me too. I tired of game. I want honest. That word stuck with me. Honest. It felt like a promise. We sat by the river for another hour after we finished eating, just talking. She asked about my life in Portland, about my work, about my kids. You have children? She asked. 2, a son and a daughter, both grown, both married. I don't see them much. They not worry about you? They worry. But they have their own lives. I didn't want to be a burden. She frowned. You not burden. You their father. She squeezed my hand. Family always complicated. When she walked me back to the BTS station, she hugged me goodbye. It was brief, but I felt it in my chest for hours afterward. That night, lying in bed, I thought about her more than I should have. About the way she listened. The way she made me feel seen. I hadn't felt that way in years. Not even with Lynn toward the end when the cancer had taken everything. We started seeing each other outside the spa after that. Dinners became regular. She showed me parts of Bangkok tourists never see. Small temples tucked between apartment buildings, night markets where she haggled in rapid Thai while I stood by uselessly. What did you tell them? I asked after she got a vendor to drop the price on some fruit. I say my farang friend very cheap, cannot pay full price. I laughed. Did you really? She grinned. No. I say you my boyfriend give us discount. The word boyfriend made my heart skip. Am I? She tilted her head. You want B? Yeah, I said. I think I do. She smiled and took my arm. Okay, then you are. It was that simple. Or so I thought. She introduced me to her co-workers at the spa, calling me her farang friend at first, but later I heard her say fanan, which she told me meant boyfriend or partner. They giggled, but seemed to approve. One of them, a girl named Tuck, pulled me aside once. You take care, Fa, okay? She good girl. She have hard life. I will, I promised. Tuck smiled. Good, she need good man. I felt proud hearing that, like I was doing something right for once. One night, about 6 weeks in, we were sitting by the river again, the same restaurant we'd gone to on our first dinner. She turned to me, her expression serious. Harold, I want tell you something. My chest tightened. Okay. I like you. Not just friend, not just boyfriend. I like you very much. But I scared. Scared of what? That you go back America soon. That this just temporary for you. I hadn't thought about it. The ticket was open-ended. I'd been avoiding the question. I don't know when I'm going back, I said honestly. Maybe not for a while. Her eyes brightened. Really? Really. I like it here. I like being with you. She took my hand in both of hers. Then we try? You and me? Real relationship? I nodded. Yeah. Let's try. She smiled, and then she said something that would haunt me later. We share everything. Okay? No secrets between us. I tell you everything, you tell me everything. I squeezed her hand. No secrets. She kissed me then, softly, and I felt like maybe life was giving me a second chance. A week later, she told me her landlord was raising her rent, that she couldn't afford the small room she had near the spa anymore. We were walking through a night market when she mentioned it, almost casually. I maybe need move, she said. Find cheaper place. How much is it now, I asked. She told me. It wasn't much by American standards, but I could see it weighed on her. Let me help, I said. She stopped walking. What? Let me help. I'll cover it. She shook her head. Too much. I can't ask. You're not asking. I'm offering. She looked at me, her eyes searching mine. Why you do this? Because I care about you. And because I can. She hesitated, then nodded slowly. Maybe we find better place? Closer to work? Safer building? Okay, let's do that. We spent the next few days looking at condos. She knew the areas better than I did, knew which neighborhoods were safe, which buildings were well maintained. We found a small condo in a newer building near a soke, 1 bedroom, decent furniture, a little balcony that overlooked the street. The rent was higher than her old place, but still manageable. I paid the deposit and the first 3 months up front. She cried when I handed her the keys. You too good to me, she whispered, wiping her eyes. No one ever do this. I hugged her. You deserve it. She moved in the next week. I helped her carry boxes, set up the kitchen, arrange the few belongings she had. It wasn't much, some clothes, a few photos, kitchen supplies. You travel light, I said. She smiled. I not have much. My family not rich. Everything I have, I work for. I respected that. She wasn't asking for handouts. She was just trying to survive. I started spending more time there than at my own place. I stocked her fridge, fixed the leaky faucet, paid the electric bill without her asking. She cooked for me. Simple Thai dishes that tasted better than anything I'd had in restaurants. Where did you learn to cook like this? I asked one evening. My mother, she teach me everything. She sounds like a good woman. She is, very strong. Raise me alone after my father die. I'd like to meet her someday. She smiled, but something flickered in her eyes. Maybe. She very traditional. Need time. I didn't push. We'd sit on the balcony at night, watching motorbikes stream by, and she'd lean her head on my shoulder. I feel safe with you, she said once. I kissed the top of her head. Good. She started calling me her husband when she spoke Thai to her friends. I didn't understand most of it, but I'd catch the word phua, which she told me meant husband. It made me feel strange, good strange, like we were building something real. One night, she turned to me while we were watching TV. You happy here? With me? Yeah, I said. I am. You not miss America? Sometimes. But there's nothing for me there anymore. Here I have you. She smiled and kissed my cheek. You have me. But there were moments, small ones, that I told myself didn't matter. Her phone would buzz late at night, and she'd glance at it, then turn it face down without answering. Who was that? I asked once. She laughed. Spa booking. People always text late. This late? It's almost midnight. Thai people never sleep, she said lightly. Always want massage tomorrow, next day. I tell them book online, but they still text me. She kissed my cheek. Don't be jealous, old man. I forced a smile. I'm not. But I was. A little. Sometimes she'd disappear on Sundays, saying she had to visit her mother in Nonthaburi. I go every week, she explained. She old, she alone. I only child, so I take care her. That's good of you, I said. Do you want me to come? I'd like to meet her. She waved it off. Not yet. My mother very traditional. She not understand farang boyfriend. Need time for me explain. Okay, I said, whenever you're ready. But weeks passed, and she never brought it up again. Every Sunday she'd leave in the morning and come back in the evening, tired but satisfied. How's your mom? I'd ask. Good, she ask about you. What do you tell her? I tell her you good man. You take care me. That always made me smile. I didn't push for more. I offered to give her money for her mother once, thinking it would help. She refused at first. You already do too much. I want to help, I said. Your mom is important to you. Let me contribute. She finally accepted, but reluctantly. I gave her 5,000 baht. You sure? She asked. I'm sure. She hugged me tight. Thank you. My mother will be happy. I felt good about that, like I was part of something bigger than just the two of us. I ignored the small red flags because the good moments outweighed them. Or at least I thought they did. She was affectionate, attentive, always asking about my day, always making sure I felt comfortable. When I was sick with food poisoning one week, she took care of me, brought me medicine, made me plain rice porridge. You need rest, she said, brushing hair from my forehead. I take care everything. I felt grateful, loved. This was what I'd been missing. Someone who cared. 2 months in, she suggested we take a weekend trip to Huah Hin. I never go beach with someone I love, she said. Love. She'd said it. My heart swelled. Let's do it, I said. Really? You not busy? I'm retired, remember? I have all the time in the world. She clapped her hands together, excited. Okay. I find good hotel, not expensive but nice. Don't worry about the cost, I said. Let me handle it. She kissed me. You best. We took the bus down on a Friday morning, checked into a small resort near the shore. It wasn't fancy, but the ocean was right there, endless and blue. She stood on the beach, arms stretched wide, breathing in the salt air. So beautiful, she said. You like it? She turned to me, smiling. I love it. Thank you for bringing me. Thank you for coming with me. We walked barefoot along the sand, ate fresh seafood at a beachside restaurant, and watched the sunset paint the sky orange and pink. She took photos of everything. Selfies of us, pictures of the food, the ocean, the sky. I want remember this, she said. Me too. That night, we sat on the hotel balcony, the sound of waves rolling in. She was quiet for a long time, just staring at the water. Then she started crying. What's wrong? I asked, alarmed. She shook her head. Nothing wrong. Then why are you crying? Because I'm scared, she said. Scared of what? That you leave. That this not real. That I wake up and you gone. I pulled her close. It's real. I'm not going anywhere. She looked up at me, tears on her cheeks. Promise? I promise. She kissed me, and for a moment, everything felt perfect. I felt like I'd found something I thought I'd lost forever. The ability to love someone, to be loved back. We spent the next day exploring the town, taking photos, laughing at nothing. She held my hand the entire time, introduced me to vendors as her farang husband. You keep calling me that, I said. You don't like? No, I like it. It just feels fast. She squeezed my hand. When you know, you know. I wanted to believe that. When we got back to Bangkok, I felt more certain than I had in years. I was falling in love. Maybe I'd already fallen. Then one night, everything shifted. I was lying in bed at my own studio, scrolling through Facebook, when a message request popped up. The sender's name was in Thai, but his profile picture showed a young man, maybe 30, standing in front of a motorbike. I didn't recognize him. I opened it. The message was in broken English. You know Fa? She, my wife, stop talker. My stomach dropped. I read it again. Then again. My hands were shaking. I screenshotted it, then stared at the message until the words blurred. This had to be a mistake. Some jealous ex, some crazy person who couldn't let go. That's what I told myself. But the word wife kept echoing in my head. I scrolled through his profile. It was mostly in Thai, but there were photos. Him on his motorbike, him with friends. Him with a woman who looked like Fa, but I couldn't be sure. The photos were old, maybe a year or more. I called her immediately. She answered on the third ring. Hey baby, she said, her voice light. What you doing? I need to see you. Now. Her tone shifted. What wrong? Just come over, please. Okay, I come. Give me 20 minutes. I paced my apartment, holding my phone, rereading the message. When she arrived, still in her spa uniform, I showed her the message without saying a word. Her face went pale. She stared at the screen for what felt like forever, then handed my phone back. This crazy, she said quietly. What do you mean crazy? Crazy people online. They try make problem. Who is he? I asked. She sighed, rubbing her temples. Old boyfriend. He's still angry I leave him. He called you his wife. Thai people say that sometimes. Not mean married, just mean serious. Are you sure? She sat down next to me, taking my hand. Harold, you think I lie to you? I don't know what to think. I tell you everything. I have ex-boyfriend. I tell you this already. He, Thai man, he hurt me. I leave him. But he crazy. He not accept. So he's messaging random men online? Maybe he see you on my Facebook. Maybe he jealous. I don't know. She looked me in the eyes. Harold, you believe me, right? You trust me? I wanted to. God, I wanted to. Yeah, I said. I believe you. She kissed my cheek, smiling softly. Good. Don't worry. I block him. I delete everything. She took out her phone, showed me as she blocked his profile, deleted the connection. See? Gone. He cannot bother us anymore. I nodded, but the knot in my chest didn't go away. She stayed that night, held me close, whispered reassurances until I fell asleep, but I dreamed about the message. About the word wife. The next few days were normal. She was affectionate, attentive, exactly like before. But I couldn't shake the message. It played on repeat in my head. I started noticing things I'd ignored before, the way she angled her phone away from me when she texted, the way she sometimes stepped into the bathroom to take calls, the long silences when I called her during the day. You busy today? I'd ask. Little bit, mini customer, she'd say, but sometimes I'd call the spa, and they'd tell me she wasn't working that day. When I mentioned it, she'd laugh. They confused. I work, but different shift. I didn't press her. I didn't want to seem controlling, paranoid. And honestly, I was still afraid that if I demanded too much, she'd realize I wasn't worth the trouble. So I stayed quiet. But the doubts festered. One night, I did something I'm not proud of. I waited until she fell asleep, then I took her phone from the nightstand. My hands trembled as I opened it. She didn't have a passcode, which somehow made it worse. Like she trusted me not to look, or like she knew I wouldn't. I scrolled through her messages. Most were in Thai, impossible for me to read. But then I saw a contact saved as Fan. The messages were recent, from that afternoon. I couldn't understand the words, but I saw heart emojis. I saw the Thai word ruck, which I knew meant love. I saw photos she'd sent him, ones she'd never sent me. Pictures of her in the new condo, pictures of food I'd bought, pictures of the balcony view. My chest tightened. I put the phone back carefully, stared at the ceiling until morning. When she woke up, she stretched and smiled at me. "You sleep okay?" she asked. I couldn't look at her. "Fine," I lied. She kissed my forehead. "I make you breakfast." She padded into the kitchen, humming to herself. I sat there, paralyzed, trying to convince myself I was overreacting. Maybe Fawn was a relative. Maybe it was innocent. Maybe I was just a jealous old man who didn't deserve her, but I couldn't stop. Over the next few days, I found myself checking her phone whenever I could. Always the same pattern: messages to Fan, photos, emojis. And sometimes, late at night, she'd step onto the balcony to take calls. I'd pretend to be asleep, but I'd listen. Her voice was different when she spoke to him. Softer. More intimate. One night, I couldn't take it anymore. I opened Facebook on my laptop and typed her name. I'd looked at her profile before, but only the public stuff. Now, I dug deeper. I clicked on her tagged photos, scrolling back months, looking for anything. Most were harmless: selfies with coworkers, pictures of food, generic travel photos. Then I found it. A photo from 6 months ago, hidden under privacy settings I'd never bothered to check. Fa standing next to a man, the same man from the message. They were both smiling. She was holding a toddler, maybe 2 years old, a little girl in a pink dress. The man had his arm around Fa's waist. The baby had Fa's eyes, her nose. The caption was in Thai, but someone had commented in English. "Beautiful family." I felt like I'd been punched. I zoomed in on the photo, studying every detail. The way they stood together. The way the baby looked at Faya. The way the man smiled. This wasn't a cousin. This wasn't an ex. This was a family. I saved the photo, then closed the laptop. I sat there for an hour, maybe more, staring at the wall. When she came home that evening, humming, carrying takeout food, I didn't say anything. I couldn't. She unpacked the food, chattering about her day, completely unaware. "You quiet tonight," she said, sitting across from me. "Just tired," I said. She smiled. "You work too hard, baby. Relax. I take care of you." I nodded, but I couldn't eat. The food tasted like cardboard. That photo burned in my mind. The next day, I couldn't hold it in anymore. I showed it to her. She was sitting on the couch, scrolling through her phone, when I turned my laptop toward her. "Who is this?" I asked. She looked at the screen and froze. All the color drained from her face. "Where you get this?" she whispered. "Facebook." "Who is he, Fa?" She sat down slowly, staring at the photo like it was a ghost. "My cousin," she said finally. "And the baby?" "His baby." I wanted to believe her. But the way she said it, the way her voice cracked, the way she wouldn't meet my eyes, told me everything. "Fa," I said quietly, "please don't lie to me." She looked up, her eyes filling with tears. "I'm not lying." "Then why does he say you're his wife? Why are you messaging him with heart emojis? Why does that baby look exactly like you?" Her face hardened. "You checked my phone?" "Yes," I admitted. "I did." She stood up, angry now. "You don't trust me? How can I trust you when you're lying to my face?" "I not lie," she shouted. "You just jealous. You think I belong to you because you pay for everything." The words stung. "That's not fair." "Then, explain the photo. Explain the messages." She grabbed her purse. "I don't need explain. You don't trust me, we finish." She walked toward the door. "Fa, wait. No," she said coldly. "You don't believe me, then we done." She left, slamming the door behind her. I stood there, stunned, my heart pounding. She didn't come back that night, or the next. I called her a dozen times. She didn't answer. I texted her. Nothing. I went to the spa. Told me she'd taken a few days off. She okay? Tuk asked, concerned. I don't know, I said honestly. I told myself to let it go, to move on. But I couldn't. A week later, I found myself standing outside the spa again, waiting. Not inside, just across the street, hidden by the evening crowd. When her shift ended, I followed her. I know how it sounds, I know what that makes me, but I had to know. She took a taxi, and I took one right behind, telling the driver to follow but keep distance. We drove for 30 minutes, weaving through traffic, until we reached a neighborhood I didn't recognize. Older buildings, narrower streets, laundry hanging from balconies. She got out in front of a small apartment complex, paid her driver, and walked up to the second floor. I stayed in my taxi, watching from a distance, my heart hammering. She walked up to a door and used a key. She didn't knock, she just walked in like she lived there. I paid my driver and crept closer, keeping to the shadows. Through a gap in the curtains, I saw her. She was holding the same toddler from the photo. The little girl wrapped her arms around Fa's neck. Then the man appeared. Fan. He walked over, said something in Thai, and kissed her. Not on the cheek, on the lips. She smiled at him, then bounced the baby on her hip, talking, laughing. It looked domestic, natural, like a family. I stood there, frozen, my chest so tight I could barely breathe. This wasn't an ex. This wasn't a cousin. This was her life. A life I knew nothing about. I watched for another minute, then Fan came outside, lighting a cigarette. I ducked behind a pillar, my heart pounding so loud I thought he'd hear it. He didn't see me. He stood there, smoking, looking at his phone. I stayed hidden until he went back inside, then I walked back to the main road in a daze. I hailed a taxi, gave my address, and sat in the back seat, staring at nothing. The driver asked if I was okay. I didn't answer. I didn't sleep that night. I didn't eat. I just sat on my balcony, replaying everything in my head. The promises, the I love yous, the no secrets between us. The way she cried in Huah Hin, the way she called me her husband. All of it, lies. Or maybe not lies. Maybe just carefully crafted truths, designed to keep me close, keep me paying, keep me believing. The next day, I went to her condo. Our condo, the one I'd paid for. She was there, sitting on the couch, watching TV like nothing had happened. We need to talk, I said. She glanced at me, then back at the TV. About what? About him, about the baby, about the apartment in Ladprow. Her face changed. The warmth, the softness, all of it vanished in an instant. You follow me? She asked, her voice flat. Who is he, Fa? She stood up, crossing her arms. Why you do this? Why you cannot trust me? Because you've been lying to me. She stared at me for a long moment, her jaw tight. Then she sat back down, slowly, like the weight of everything was too much. For a long time she didn't say anything, she just stared at the floor. Then finally, she spoke. He my husband. The words hit me like a freight train. What? I married him 5 years ago. Before I meet you. And the baby? I could barely get the words out. Our daughter, she 2-year-old. I felt like the room was spinning, like the floor was falling out from under me. Why didn't you tell me? She looked up, and her eyes were cold now, empty. Because you never ask. You come here, you lonely, you sad, you want someone. I give you that. But I have life too, Harold. I have family. I have responsibility. So what am I? I asked, my voice breaking. She sighed, rubbing her face. You good man. You help me a lot. You pay for condo. You give me money for my mother. You make life easier. But I can't choose only one. What does that mean? I need him for my life here. He father of my child. He my family. But he not have money. He work construction. He make little. I need you for support. You different. You make everything easier. I stared at her, unable to process what I was hearing. You're using me. No, she said, almost defensive. I care about you. I do. But I can't leave him. You understand? He father of my baby. I cannot just leave. And me? What am I supposed to do? She looked away. I don't know. I stood there, feeling everything inside me crack. So this whole time, you've been lying. Every I love you, every promise, every moment. I never lie about my feelings, she said quietly. I do care about you. But I also have to survive, Harold. You don't understand how hard it is here. I not have education. I not have rich family. I do what I need to do. By lying to people? By making choice? She shot back. You think it easy? You think I want life like this? Then why? Because I have no choice, she shouted. My daughter need food. My mother need medicine. Fan work hard, but it not enough. You come here, you nice, you have money, you make everything better. I give you what you want, I make you happy. Why that wrong? I shook my head, tears burning my eyes. Because you made me believe it was real. It is real, she said. Just not the way you think. I'm done, I said quietly. Harold, wait. No, I said. We're done. Keep the condo, keep everything. I don't care anymore. I walked out, and she didn't stop me. I walked through Sukhumvit that night until sunrise. The city that once felt alive now felt hollow. I passed the restaurant where we'd shared our first meal, the memory of her laugh echoing in my head. I passed the spa where we met, the neon sign flickering in the dark. I passed the condo I'd paid for, knowing she was probably inside, maybe calling Fan, maybe relieved I was gone. Every corner held a memory, and every memory felt like a lie. I ended up at a 24-hour noodle stand near Nana, sitting on a plastic stool, watching the early morning crowd shuffle by. Street vendors setting up for the day. Bar girls heading home. Tuk-tuk drivers waiting for their first fare. An old woman served me a bowl of soup. I barely tasted it. Young couples walked past, holding hands, laughing. I wondered if any of them were real, or if everyone was just pretending, playing roles, surviving. A foreigner at the next table, maybe 50, sat with a Thai woman half his age. She was on her phone, barely acknowledging him. He didn't seem to notice. Or maybe he didn't care. Maybe he knew deep down, but chose not to see it, just like I had. I deleted Fa's number that morning as the sun came up, blocked her on Facebook, deleted every photo, every message, every trace of her, but her voice stayed in my head. You good man. But I can't choose only one. I called my daughter a few days later. Dad, Sarah said, surprised. Are you okay? I'm fine, I lied. I just wanted to hear your voice. Are you coming home? Not yet, I said. I need more time. Dad, what happened? You sound different. Nothing happened. I'm just figuring things out. She didn't believe me, but she didn't push. I love you, Dad. Call me if you need anything. I will. I love you too. I hung up and stared at the Bangkok skyline from my window. I couldn't stay here anymore. Too many ghosts, too many memories, too much pain. A month later, I moved to Chiang Rai. I'd read about it online, seen pictures of mountains and rivers, a slower pace of life. I needed that. I needed to be somewhere that didn't remind me of her. I found a small house for rent near the Kok River, simple, quiet, with a porch that faced the water. I furnished it with the basics, nothing fancy. I didn't need much. A friend from an expat forum told me about a local school that needed English teachers. You don't need certification, he said. Just patience and decent English. I applied, got hired within a week. The pay was modest, but I didn't need much. I started teaching 3 days a week, mostly kids, some teenagers. They called me Teacher Harold, and their energy was infectious. When a student finally understood a grammar rule or pronounced a difficult word correctly, their faces would light up. It reminded me why I'd come to Thailand in the first place. To feel something. To matter. The pace here was slower, quieter. No neon lights, no endless traffic. Just the river, the mountains, and the occasional sound of temple bells. I liked it. I started going to a small coffee shop near my house every morning. The owner, an older Thai man named Som, spoke broken English, but we communicated enough. He'd ask about my day, I'd ask about his grandson. Simple, honest, no pretense. Sometimes, I'd see foreign men at the market with Thai women, and I'd wonder if they knew, if they were walking into the same trap I had, or if their stories were different. I hoped they were different. I didn't wish my pain on anyone. I don't hate Fa anymore. I did for a while. In those first weeks in Chiang Rai, I'd wake up angry, replaying every moment, every lie, every manipulation. I'd imagine confronting her again, saying all the things I didn't say. But anger is exhausting, and eventually, it faded into something else. Sadness, mostly. Sadness for her, for me, for the life we could have had if things had been different, if she'd been honest, if I'd been smarter. But mostly, I'm sad because I finally understand. I didn't fall in love with her. I fell in love with the idea of not being alone, the idea that someone could want me, even at 63, even after Lynn, even after everything. And she saw that. She saw a lonely old man who wanted to feel chosen, and she gave me just enough to keep me holding on. Maybe that's the real betrayal. Not the husband, not the baby, not even the lies. But the fact that she knew exactly what I needed, and she used it. She played a role, and she played it well, and I let her because I was desperate to believe someone could love me again. I think about that night at Huah Hin sometimes. The way she cried, the way she said she was scared to lose me. I wonder if any of it was real. Or if she was just scared of losing the money, the security, the convenience. I'll never know. And maybe that's okay. Maybe some questions don't need answers. I've been in Chiang Rai almost a year now. I've made a few friends, other expats who've been here longer, who've learned the language, who've built lives without drama. We meet for coffee sometimes, swap stories, offer advice. One of them, a British guy named Robert, told me his own story once. I was married to a Thai woman for 7 years, he said. Thought it was real. Then I found out she had another husband in Isan. 2 kids I didn't know about. What did you do? I asked. He shrugged. Left, grieved, moved on. That's all you can do, mate. Do you regret it? The relationship? Yeah. But not coming here. Thailand taught me a lot about myself. About what I'm willing to accept. About what I deserve. I nodded. I understood that. I teach English to kids now. They don't know my story. They just know I'm patient, that I smile when they get something right, that I bring them small treats sometimes. One of my students, a little girl named Ploy, gave me a drawing once. It was a picture of me standing by the river, the sun rising behind me. Teacher Harold, happy here, she said in broken English. Yeah, I said, smiling. I think I am. I'm not looking for love anymore. I don't think I have it in me. But I'm okay with that. I learned something about myself in Bangkok. I learned that I was so desperate to feel alive again that I ignored every warning sign. I wanted to believe someone could love me, even though deep down, I knew it didn't make sense. A 30-year-old woman, beautiful, smart, charming, choosing a 63-year-old widower, I wanted it so badly that I let myself be blind. And maybe that's on me. Maybe I'm just as responsible for what happened as she is. Because I saw the signs, the late-night texts, the evasiveness, the Sunday trips, the way she never let me meet her mother. I saw all of it, and I chose to ignore it. I chose to believe her excuses because the alternative, being alone again, was too painful. So I stayed. I paid. I played my role. Just like she played hers. And in the end, we both got what we wanted. She got security. I got companionship. It just wasn't real. When people ask why I left Bangkok, I tell them I wanted somewhere quieter. I don't tell them about Pha. I don't tell them about the 2 families, the lies, the midnight taxi rides to apartments I was never supposed to see. I don't tell them how I stood outside that window, watching the life she'd hidden from me, feeling like the biggest fool in the world. Some stories are too heavy to share. But I'm writing this now because I think other men need to hear it. Men like me, who come to Thailand alone, looking for something they lost. Looking for someone to make them feel young again, wanted again, alive again. It's easy to fall into. The warmth, the attention, the way someone smiles at you like you're the most interesting.